When it comes to Shakespeare, you might have heard of something called Iambic Pentameter. It's not as scary as it sounds. Chris, what does it mean? If you like literally translate it directly.
Penta, meaning 5. So there are 5 of these sort of groups put together in a meter. So it's pentameter, iambic pentameter. It's a meter made up of 5 little groups of iambic things. An iamb is essentially a short and a long in that order. Short, long. And 5 of them in a row goes ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. A line of iambic pentameter, just like that. It's just poetry. It's a way of putting together the rhythm of poetry in a pretty specific way.
If you break it down literally, if it's iambic, it has iambs. Give me a word that's an iamb. Apart from the word itself.
Apart from iamb.
What's the day before tomorrow?
Friday. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I knew exactly where you were headed with it.
Can you think of any iambic words, Chris?
Today.
Oh, today. Yeah, we have short, long. Today.
And iamb is most easily explained as like a heartbeat. Ba-bump. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum.
Some of my teachers also deliberately moved away from that metaphor because with that, there's an idea of landing on every second one, whereas it's more of a lift off.
One of the things that I love to think about with iambic pentameter to avoid that is to think that within each one of these 5 feet, we call them, these 5 iambs, stress is all relative. So this one does not have to be the same length as this one or this one. They're all can be different lengths, just so long as within each foot, the first syllable is shorter than the second one. That's it.
Does every line have to be iambic pentameter in a verse?
In Shakespeare, no. Indeed, no. Yea, unto you I say no. This is not the case.
I absolutely agree with that. Don't like to be prescriptive. However, sometimes just to confuse people, I come up with rules. And so one of the rules I sometimes come up with is that in a verse line, there should only be one major stress.
Can you give us an example, Sir Jack?
Let's think of a regular line of text. Let's talk of graves of worms and epitaphs.
Yes.
So in its fully beated out, everything the same, it's exactly as Chris just said. Would you perform it for us one more time?
Let's talk of graves of worms and epitaphs.
Exactly. Da 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 da. So let's say that for some reason we thought that worms were the most important thing in this one. It would be something more like, let's talk of graves of worms and epitaphs. So you put an intentional extra stress on one of the feet. That's one of the things that I sometimes say, just let's go for one per line.
The good news is that the English language, in large part, is spoken anyway in iambic pentameter.
Because I am from England, I know best. Because I am from England, I know best.
Yeah, that does work. So, viewers, this is the biggest difference between the British Shakespeare expert and the American Shakespeare expert. Here is what my sentence is. I had Chipotle, now I have to poop. I had Chipotle, now I have to poop. 5 feet.
Perfect. He went to Harvard because he is so smart.
Right here. Thank you.
It has a great little Shakespearean contraction there, because into cuz, to make it fit.
Yes. All I can say is, if faith, my lords, I know not what to say. Yeah, that is actually my go-to ad-lib in Shakespeare if I forget a line. The long and short of it is that it exists. But just because it's there doesn't mean that you have to make a meal out of it or even stress about it. We have the rhythms built into our language. You just heard me do it. We have the rhythms built into our language.
It's a tool to be used. It really just means that it has a rhythm. That's it. That's all iambic pentameter means. There's an underlying rhythm, and you can choose to go with it or go against it. Maybe you have differing views on iambic pentameter. Maybe this is the first time you've heard any of this. If so, we would love to hear from you. Type in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. We'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Oh, you should probably check us out on the Twitters and the Instas. We are at Shakesbros.
So until next time, we're the Shakesbros. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Let's think of a regular line of text.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
That is not a regular line of text. That has a feminine ending. How dare
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
Friends, Romans, Friends, Romans. No, it's
no, that starts with a trochee, right?
Yep.
Damn you, Shakespeare! Why didn't you write more iambic stuff?
Yeah, Romeo, wherefore art thou? No.
Romeo. That's okay. That doesn't work.
You can see, everyone, that not everything is written in.